What's going on, everybody? I want to make this video just not really a current events, not news, not politics, financial, but not in the sense of a current financial thing going on, but more of a general concept. I just want to talk investing. Two things happened in the last 2 days where I was thinking about. I was talking to a buddy recently that talking about investing long term, and it also just happened that I got on one of the previous videos this week, got one of these obvious crypto spam comments where they're trying to basically scam people in the comments of YouTube videos. I mean, I appreciate it. I only got 100 subs on the channel, giving 40, 50 views on average, and they're dropping scam comments. So they must be getting everybody on YouTube. And then also at my new job that I took here, I mean, I got the guys that were here before me obviously showing me the ropes and stuff. They were kind enough. I mean, I already knew the basics and knew what I was going to do, but I appreciate it nonetheless that they kind of went out of their way to talk to me about the retirement options and what they do at the place I'm working at now. And I appreciate that. They're all kind of younger guys, sub 40, so they're 35-ish, 36. I'm 27, so I think I'm the youngest guy there by a good chunk. But it's still, one, it's encouraging to me, but also at the same time, I would like to get the word out even more as much as possible, and that was a main driver in me making this channel. But it's encouraging to see. I think the internet obviously played a huge role, and it's not like you have to share this video with somebody or not, but if you're already watching this kind of content on YouTube, I'm sure you're already on this path or well on your way, at least dipping your toes into this kind of thing of investing, getting invested early, not necessarily this financial independence, retire early shit, but just financial independence in general is what I'm aiming for. I'm not really worried about retiring early per se, but financial independence and long-term financial success. And I think the only real way this happens for everyday people, regular people, like I said, there's some carve-outs you can make for obviously people who start businesses and do other kinds of things like that. But overall, it's going to be a grind. It's a long-term thing, and that's why when I saw this comment under the YouTube video, I'm just like, this kind of shit, one, pisses me off, but two, I think it's a problem of my generation and the generation younger. I mean, every generation has it a little bit with lottery, scratch-offs, gambling, shit like that. But crypto, I think, was a huge one where it's get rich quick scheme type things. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the stock market in the past couple years, all through COVID. I mean, AMC and GameStop was a big one where people are making tons of money on stock plays of crazy. It's basically just crazy gambling shit, and it is sad because that's not the reality. And I would hope nobody would watch my videos and get that impression about stocks or anything like that. I'll go out of my way to never give that impression, because it really is long term, and it really is you got to stick to it, but the payoff in my mind will be there. And my justification for this is I'm gonna be investing in my 401k. I'm gonna try to max, as soon as our student loans are paid off, we're gonna start maxing out the Roth IRAs. We're doing a little bit here and there. I have a little bit of crypto on the side, things like that, and eventually get into real estate investing, hopefully. But I mean, everything's so crazy expensive house-wise. It is what it is. But like I said, it's encouraging for me to see the generations surrounding me. So basically, my generation, the younger one, and the one above me, and getting more financially educated as far as investing, 401k, stocks, Roth. I mean, I know some people that have deferred compensation. That's a new thing at my job that I haven't access to, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna go for the Roth IRA, the Roth first, and then maybe look at the deferred comp some other time. But it's the only way that, like I said, generally people are going to be successful, because this channel's not old enough, but you all remember COVID. We just went through the craziest inflationary period of my lifetime that I was cognizant enough to remember. I mean, things now cost 30-40% more than they did 5 years ago. And the only way you kept up with that is if you're invested, because your wages didn't keep up with that on average. And the only way that you make it out of that in in the green is assets. And I mean, I still see it around me, obviously. Like, there's kids younger than me. I have 3 younger siblings. I would go out of my way to, if they told me they were going to do something as far as like buy something that's too expensive, or buy a home they couldn't afford, or buy a new car for no real reason, I would really push. Obviously, it's your decision to do whatever you want with your money, and you got to hit the no financial advice. But I would really voice my opinion to be like, that's not a smart move. Not that I don't think I would really have to, because I think they got it on their own, honestly, for the most part. And they've asked me questions here and there about things, but like I said, I think they've got it pretty well figured out. They're smart enough with their money. I don't have to worry about that. But it's almost like you have to evangelize this financial thing, because there is people that obviously make the wrong decisions monetarily, and hopefully over time we would get away from that, and less people would be making stupid money decisions. But the fact that you have a credit card and you get rewards on your credit card, in my mind, is basically proof positive that there's plenty of people out there making terrible financial decisions, because the credit card's willing to give you 2 or 3% cash back on everything you buy, because there's plenty of people out there paying 19, 20, 21% interest on their credit card bills. And if you're a person doing that right now, I mean, no shame to it, but if you're watching this kind of video, I hope you watch some more and turn that process around as fast as you can, because it's never really too late to fix it, but don't want to keep heading down that path if you can avoid it. And like I said, over the past 5 or so years, I would say, as I got into college, I kind of started leaning into this, trying to learn as much as I could about financial stuff. And the real funny thing is it's just not that hard. It's not that complex. It's really not that difficult to understand for any person, the most regular. You don't have to I don't even think you'd have to have like finished high school to understand most of this stuff, to be honest. Like, you don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to have watched a ton of YouTube videos. You don't have to take some class to understand basic investing advice, and then be successful long term just with putting 10, 5, 10, 15, hopefully higher and higher percents, if you can, of your money that you're making each year into a retirement account. Hopefully your work offers a 401k of some kind of investing option, and then you'll be set later on in your life, at least partially, to not end up retiring with little to no money and be stuck working for the rest of your life, even if you don't want to. Like I said, it's not financial advice, but it's really like, it can come down to just, like I said, put that 10% in your 401k, invest it in index funds. If you got access to mutual funds, things like that, that's great too, if they have good performance over time. And you don't have to do anything. You just dollar cost average in, and the money adds up, and the money makes money eventually. And I know there'll be maybe somebody out there will say, hey, there's risk associated. Obviously, there's risk associated with it. You shouldn't really be investing money you can't afford to lose, I guess, in theory. There's people like Dave Ramsey who would advocate like stopping all investment until all your debt is paid off except your mortgage, things like that. I don't really subscribe to that. I still have student loans. That's the only debt I have. We put like $1,000 a month on the student loans. It'll be gone in like a year and a half, 2 years, hopefully. But I'm going to keep investing, maxing out my 401k and things like that while I can, because time is money, and that's really the big thing. I mean, I'm not super young anymore, 27, just turned 27. But if you're 18, 19, 20 years old watching these videos, if I could give you any advice, it would be to dump as much money as you can possibly manage into investments, assets. Like I said, if you want to save up to buy a house or something, that's great too. I'm not saying that's a terrible idea, but generally, investment accounts, especially if your work doesn't offer 401k with a match or something like a Roth IRA, put after-tax money in there. All the gains are tax-free forever after you hit 59 and a half retirement age. And you'll be set. Like I said, that time, even that 7-year difference between me and somebody who's 20 years old, if you could, by the time you're 27, have 50 grand in your Roth IRAs, it would be a huge head start on so many people. Over the average, you would be outperforming the average by so much. And don't get me wrong, that's very hard to do. I think right now, me and my wife probably total have maybe 60 grand in 401k type stuff, and we got about 50 grand in cash. We got, like I said, we're saving for the house. House prices are so crazy, 50 grand is fucking barely enough. Can't even get 20% down to put on the house. Not that I have to, but still sucks. Got a little crypto and a little Roth IRA stuff set aside as well, but somebody with 50k in a Roth by the time they're 26, 27 years old, I mean, you have such a head start on the general population. It's insane. And then from there, it just keeps building. It's compound. As you get older and older, you're going to make more and more money. You can invest more and more money, hopefully keep that lifestyle inflation to a minimum, and you win with money, basically. And like I said, if somebody says, hey, there's risk associated, of course there is. My general philosophy is if the stock market completely goes to zero, like all your money invested just goes to shit, and every company you're invested in, the S&P 500 dissolves, every company goes bankrupt in the S&P 500, and it disappears, the whole stock market implodes, we got bigger fish to fry than retirement, honestly. You're going to be having a hard time paying for food in the now, and your money's not going to be worth anything anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. I kind of just don't care about that argument. It makes no sense to me. And then even something like 2008 was terrible. I wasn't really financially aware of it when I was younger. I mean, our house had to be sold, but I wasn't even aware of that at that point. I only learned that later on, just because you couldn't afford it. Other things going on, just like family life, but nothing like where I was directly impacted. Obviously, it wasn't working. I was in like 4th grade or something like that. So it had no impact on me. But look at where we're at now compared to even the high before the 2008 crash, .com bubble, the Great Depression even. I mean, that was like, I was listening to something today where they're talking about how long of a stagnant period we had after the Great Depression. It was like 20 years before the stock market had a new all-time high, before it had got higher than it was before the crash. So yeah, that's about as bad as it gets. Like I said, without it being full-blown, the United States doesn't exist anymore. But we've always bounced back, and that's the general trend. It's going to keep going higher and higher as they inflate the money away. And like I said, only way to keep up is buy in. Get some money, round up some money that you can, dollar cost average in to safe investments, good investments, things that have performed well in the past historically, and it's literally autopilot for the most part. It's really just not that difficult. I'm gonna make another video sometime this weekend. I want to talk about housing, but I really need I gotta show some pictures, some realtor.com listings, because this shit is just blowing my mind, man. But I think it'd be better with some visual aids, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's not the craziest video. It's not really even something to be learned, but if you get something out of it, please like the video, subscribe, come back for more. I want to talk more about this stuff. I like talking to you guys, obviously, in the comments more than anything. It feels nice to have just comment back and forth and just chat with some people down there. Dislike the video if you didn't like it. Let me know why. And like I said, go out there, evangelize as much people as you can. Tell them about getting ahead with their finances. And like I said, it's really not that hard. Help them if you can. And you'll feel better for it, honestly, I think. So I'll catch you guys maybe later this weekend, and if not, have a good one. I'll catch you all on Monday.